BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
What's up, guys? Chef Jeff, this dope cooking show. Look, I took an amazing trip this weekend with my wife to San Antonio, Texas. We've never been, and we just really wanted to go and kind of just connect, pray, dream, relax, not have to worry about getting up, doing anything, going anywhere specific. We just was able to move at our own pace, right? The occasion was her birthday. Her actual birthday was April 18th, which was last Friday. I've showed y'all pictures of and video from the actual party she had, which was a surprise party, but she's still on a high about. And again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everybody that showed up, that came, cash out, whatever. Love y'all. But this, I wanted y'all to see some of the footage that I got from the Japanese tea garden in San Antonio, Texas. Now, this is a free park. You can go and just do whatever you want to do. Like, you can go and take pictures. You can go and kind of just spend the day there. They have like a cafe there. They have all kind of stuff going on. But the serenity, the peace, the just being able to just take in the sights without nothing. This bench said for all the littles who wander in nature. It was a little bench that was in like the middle of the trail that you could sit on, I guess take a break, because there was a lot of walking. But it was worth it. It was a lot of walking, and it was a lot of walking over like these stones. So I suggest you definitely wear some good walking shoes. Doc had on some sandals because she was trying to be cute for pictures and stuff like that, which was fine. It's all good. But I just wanted y'all to see this because it is breathtakingly beautiful. It is just an amazing sight to see. I don't know, I didn't get much history because there was like no tours or anything. You kind of just roll up and kind of walk through, right? And there was a waterfall there, the beautiful koi ponds, just so many different sights that within this one little park, it was amazing. And I just wanted y'all to see this because I was stunned. So I definitely stopped. And I took time to kind of walk and just feel and kind of ground myself, just refocus myself, right? I took time to stop and pray and just thank God for this beautiful opportunity to walk through this beautiful park and to be here, in communion with nature, God. Oh, it was amazing. Like it just took me out. This was awesome, y'all. Like I really, really had fun just walking through and kind of just taking picture and video from different viewpoints. It was amazing. Like I never seen anything like it, right? Of course they had a cafe there. You can really spend the day there. Like you can spend the day there. Just there's a cafe there. They have some type of classes with plants. We didn't do that. We went really, really early in the morning because the the focus of the trip was to rest, reflect, and rejuvenate, right? 3 R's: rest, reflect, and rejuvenate. And that's what we were doing here. We were reflecting just on life, our marriage, our partnership together, our time together, our ups, our downs. And this part sparked a lot of conversation. Look at Doc. She loves water. Anything near water, she is ready for it. So it's water on both sides, she's in heaven. But this sparked a lot of conversation for us on the way back, things to talk about and things to kind of focus our attentions on more as a couple, as a married couple. And yeah, thank you to the Japanese tea garden because this was, I mean, shoot, look at that, y'all. What's up, guys? So look, that was the Japanese tea garden, but I also want to show y'all San Antonio Riverwalk. So we stayed at the Hilton, the Palacio del Rio. It was nice. It was nice. So um, there's a lot of history in San Antonio, right? So you got the Alamo, which I got pictures and video of that, and then the San Antonio Riverwalk, which is like popular. It's happening. So you can walk the Riverwalk or you can take a boat tour. So we did both.
In front to my right, y'all see that cowboy with the longhorn cattle, and front to my right, the Bristol Western Art Museum. Now this building here on my right, from 1930 to 1968 was our public library. From 1968 to 2001, it was a circus museum. Bristol opened their doors in October of 2013. That's a beautiful place to visit. There's a lot of history y'all can view inside of there. For example, they have a stagecoach in there. They have Pancho Villa's last saddle in there. They even have a Roy Rogers saddle with gold string all around. A lot of history items y'all can view inside of there. This bridge right in front is the oldest bridge on the Riverwalk. As we get closer, you're going to notice there's no welding on this bridge. Just nuts, bolts, and rivets. Now this bridge does come all the way from Berlin. That's right, all the way from Berlin, Connecticut. I know, I made you waste that photo. In front to my right, y'all see that black sculpture in front to my right. That is called Father Massenet's table. It represents the first Catholic Mass held here back in June 13th of 1691. The little island it sits on is known as Marriage Island. It dates back all the way to the Mexican Revolution. It is said to bring good luck to the people that get married here. It is estimated that over 300 ceremonies take place here a year. And they do. People get married here all the time. We see it all the time. Entering Old Mills Crossing. In the 1800s, this was the lowest part of the river. A lot of senators would cross through here. Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders would frequently cross this area of Old Mills Crossing. Now it's called Old Mills Crossing because there used to be an Old Mill to my right. That's that there. They would give little sacks of flour to the people to help them out. They were crossing on here, helping them settlers out. See, back then they also used to make their tortillas. They know how to make tortillas. Way up high in front to my left. Y'all gonna see that building has gargoyles way up high to my left. See that building with gargoyles way up there? Anybody look familiar to anybody? Anybody seen Ghostbusters? That's not it. That was in New York. This is the Tower Light building. It was designed by a father and son team of Adley and Robert Ayers. It took 1 year to build at a cost of $3 million. It's 388 feet tall, has 31 floors. Now in 1929, the Smith brothers owned this building. They were a very superstitious family. So they had them gargoyles put up there on top, and they also have these grotesque faces underneath the windows. Y'all see the faces underneath the windows? That's on the second floor. To ward evil spirits away in bad business. But that didn't help. What happened in 1929? The market crashed. So they ended up losing this building, selling it back at 10 cents to the dollar. Now if you count those faces from the corner, that third face y'all can see here. 1, 2, 3, that third face. That one right there? I kid you not, that's my auntie up there. I swear I look just like my auntie. I tell her I said that she blew chocolate. My right, the building to my right. International Center building on my right opened up in 1998. Today this building on my right houses the trading offices of Canada, Mexico, and the United States. That big red building in front, you can't miss it. That is the Bexar County Courthouse. It is the largest, oldest operating historic courthouse in the state of Texas. It was completed back in 1897. Folks, don't be alarmed. I'm going to have to honk my horn here. Getting ready to go over floodgate 4. This gate sits underwater. As we go by, if you look to my right or left on these lower walls, you can see how it's scraped as it comes up from underneath.
So I told y'all, San Antonio Riverwalk, that was the boat tour. You can take that tour. It's like $15 a person, right? But they also have a guided, it's a narrated tour, right? Guided narrated tour. But they also have a narrated tour that involves dinner and a mariachi band. And I'm talking about it's dope. I thought about doing it, but I thought that might have been a little too much. Eating right on the river with the shaking, it's like an hour. So this tour was 35 minutes, right? And then the guided dinner tour is like an hour and a half, but it's like candlelight. They got the food, and it's provided by Casa de Rio Mexican restaurant. When I say that food is so good, it was so amazing. I got pictures of it. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the pictures. But when I say the food was so good, it was so fresh. The guacamole. So they bought me a guacamole salad. What? Never had one. Never seen one ever in my life. Um, so it was lettuce, tomato, guacamole, and in the center of a guacamole was a chipotle balsamic vinaigrette dressing. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to make that because that's gonna be on the next something I make. I'm telling you. But yeah, it was intriguing. So we did the Riverboat tour, and then we went to the Alamo, right? Remember the Alamo. So there's an IMAX theater that is around the corner from where we stayed that plays Remember the Alamo or the Battle of the Alamo every day. Every day, all day. That's all it plays. Now they have like 2 or 3 other movies, but the Alamo is playing every day, all day at this theater. Check it out. I meant to say check out the footage of the Alamo that I had. My bad. I ain't mean try to check out the Alamo movie. We're not doing that now. Now I'm gonna show you. So this was a bunker for the soldiers, and you can walk through and do an interactive, like you touch the little pad to the little microphone, and it starts telling you about the different pictures that are posted there. I didn't do that. Well, kind of at this point, I was kind of ready to go. I'm gonna be honest. Um, but there was different statues and things like that. You could see different cannons. They tell you stories about. Just a general overview. That's all. This was the Pour Box, which is a black-owned coffee shop in San Antonio, Texas. So we had to go and check that out. One thing about Doc, whenever we go somewhere, we doing some Black history. So we got to meet Desiree as the owner. It's an amazing little spot. There's more stuff from the Alamo that I forgot to add in, but don't worry about it. Um, it's an amazing little spot that we went to, and she made some custom teas and some custom lattes for us to taste. It was amazing. This is the first part of the Alamo that I ain't show y'all. This is the different years, when things took place at the Alamo, what led up to the Battle of the Alamo, uh, who was in charge, why, all of that, all of those different things are on there. And then that is the aerial view of the Alamo Fortress. And then there's some picture of the inside cannon, the 6 pound cannon that they use to shoot to give incoming Mexican soldiers chance to get in under the cover of this little pathway right here. And then here we are again, back on the river walk. So this is night. This is at night. Now during the daytime it's not as jumping, but at nighttime, man, it is hopping. You got to walk single file along this river. There is no guard rails. There's a little in some spots there are. I guess those are the spots where people have previously fell in. But for the most part, you got to watch your step. And I mean really watch your step. One misstep, you can fall off in this water. Now the water's not deep in a lot of places. We learned on the riverboat tour that the water is about 3 to 4 feet deep, so you can jump in and stand up. But there are other parts of the riverboat tour of the river walk that are 15 to 20 feet deep, and they actually got fish in there, fish, snakes, catfish, all that kind of stuff. There's parts of the river walk where there is fishing that is allowed, which is wild to me. But at nighttime, it's like Bourbon Street in New Orleans. So we compared a lot of our tour to compared to New Orleans. Ain't nothing like the NO, but San Antonio, close second. Guacamole. On the Riverwalk, we're back.
Dear Toya. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, thank you so much. Make a wish.
So look, I had an amazing time in San Antonio. I mean, it was one of the better trips that we've taken. Not a lot of riffraff. Now, of course, you've seen all the food. It was food. It was drinks. It was food. It was drinks. It was more food. It was more drinks. And party and party and party. Now, all that y'all need to see, all that is none of y'all business because we had a good time with my boo thing. But yeah, we had a good time. So here's a little bit. I want y'all to some things. So I learned some things on this trip that I ain't never really experienced. Right. So one, incidental fees have gone up. Incidental fees are $100 a day. Right. That's the stuff that they don't tell you about when you book on these third-party sites. So I suggest starting to book through wherever you're going. Like if you're gonna stay at a Marriott, book through Marriott. If you're gonna stay at a Hilton, book through Hilton. Now we got a ton of Hilton points, right? But we can't use them because I booked through a third party site. Lesson learned. Second, take advantage of parking your own car, right? I paid $55 a day for them to park my truck. Now, the difference between the two was $55 a day, unlimited in and out, right? Or $35 a day, and you have to pay $35 every time you go in and out. So you have to kind of weigh your options, right? For us, we could have just used the $35 a day, $35 in and out because we didn't go nowhere. We stayed on the actual Riverwalk. That is where the most of the action is. And then you can walk the Riverwalk to different spots and not have to really, use a car, right? And then they have trolleys. They have those little VO. It's called VO. So you can rent a scooter. You can rent a bike, like a bicycle. I would have done that, but Doc ain't as adventurous as I am because I'd have got on me a little scooter and I'd have been gone. You can rent those. And then when you get done with it, just leave. The funny part about it is you can just leave it wherever it is. Like, fine, I'm done. Okay, I'm cool here. Staying downtown is a little more costly, right? And then they have, with the room selections, they have and this is every hotel because I looked at about 4 of them. Every hotel on the Riverwalk has a city view and a Riverwalk view. Don't be fooled by that Riverwalk view because there's a lot of trees on the Riverwalk, and you can get a room where a big old fat tree is blocking your view of the Riverwalk, and you done paid an extra $200 or $300. All right. So just some words to the wise. San Antonio, if you're gonna go to San Antonio and stay on the Riverwalk, it was amazing. I loved it, and that'll probably be a frequent flyer place we go quite often. The drive was real chill, right? 4 hours maybe 4 hours. It said 4 hours, but it didn't feel like 4 hours, if that makes sense. We broke it up with a trip to Buc-ee's. You gotta stop at Buc-ee's. I mean, I don't understand what you're doing on the road trip if you do not stop at Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is an experience all in itself. I didn't take no pictures of Buc-ee's because I think I done gave y'all some pictures of Buc-ee's before. But it's an experience all in itself. So we drove straight through. The only stop we made was with Buc-ee's, right? I used only 1 tank of gas. If you really want to count it, I filled up at Buc-ee's both times. I filled up before I left, stopped in Buc-ee's, I filled back up, and then I drove around in San. That's how much gas we didn't use. Like I left on the same tank of gas that I came with. And then when we got to Buc-ee's, I filled up again. So I came home with gas, right? So it worked out. Taking consideration those things, and these things is changing, y'all. Like stuff is out here changing for real. Stuff is higher than it was 2-3 years ago. Drinks ain't the same price. I mean, we spent a lot of money on drinks that was normal. Like, I spent $20 on that smoking drink, right? It was a old fashioned, smoky old fashioned. Now Maverick is their whiskey of choice down there. Never heard of it. Didn't wake up with no headache or nothing like that, so I guess it was all right. But that's their top shelf. So Maverick Smoky Old Fashioned was $20. If I drink 5 of them, I'm at $100, right? Now I did not drink 5. But anyway, that was the time. So we found a place that finally had like normal. We missed all the happy hours every time. Happy hours went about 2 or 3 hours, right? 2 to 5. I mean, well, 5. When the first day we went out, we had to go back and take a nap because we were so full from eating at the Casa Rio place that we was like, oh my God, we cannot go do nothing else, right? So anyway, that was that. Stuff is going up out here. We cannot have a show and not do no cooking, right? So we're gonna do something simple. Boom. Y'all thought I was just gonna talk about my trip the whole time. Nah, you wrong. We're gonna do a little bit of cooking. We're gonna do a little bit of eggology today, all right? So call your friends. If y'all ain't tuned in already, y'all tripping. Y'all missing out. But we finna do some egg stuff. All right? Be right back. Okay, guys, we back. Of course, we gotta do a little cooking on this Dope Cooking Show. We just got to, right? So, for your viewing and cooking enjoyment, we're gonna do us a ham and cheese omelet. And we're gonna do an egg over easy medium. I don't know. We'll see. I don't eat eggs. Y'all know that. Chef Jeff don't eat eggs. Never have. Well, I have once. I had some egg whites and they were horrible. And I vowed never to do that again. So We got a couple of few eggs, the hottest commodity in the world right now. Eggs are so expensive. Oh my God. Um, do you kind of feel like it was time for a change though? Do you think it was time for the eggs to go up? Everything else went up. Eggs didn't go up. You think it was time for the eggs to go up, right? Maybe. I don't know. I guess that's a subject for another day. I always crack my eggs into a bowl, right? Or a cup, ramekin, however. And I mix them up. I go ahead and mix my eggs up, right? Because that's what we want to do to get that evenness of the egg. Sometimes I don't like sometimes the omelet, maybe piece of it be white. They ain't mix the egg up good. So that's what I'm doing right now is mixing the egg up. Like I said, we're going to keep it simple. Uh-oh, wrong side. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to do a ham and cheese omelet, and then we're going to do some eggs over. They could be eggs over, whatever you want to be. This particular pan right here, this Lucille. I have made so many omelets in this pan over the years, and it has just recently gotten to the point where I can't really trust it because it be sticking sometimes. And that's the last thing I want is it to be sticking. So I have retired it from omelet making, but she makes good pancakes. We're gonna do that the next time. On this dope cooking show. So you want to make sure you coat the bottom of your pan very well. Okay. With the eggs over, you can go right into the pan. Once your pan is at the desired heat source, at the desired temperature you want it to be, you can go right in the pan with those guys. No, you don't have to worry about waiting or nothing, mixing up nothing. You can crack the egg right in the pan. Okay. A lot of mistakes people make is they be trying to do too much. Take your time, right? So what we have done, what we're doing, we're gonna season our omelet little mix right over here. Right, we're gonna season our omelet mix, and the whole time our skillet heating up. Right, skillet is heating up now with that little seal. She get hot quick. She get hot. So we're gonna use that one for our eggs over. You see, there's a little smoke coming off of there. We're gonna go right in here with this. Hear that? Boom. Right in there. Now our eggs working. We got them working. They ready to go right there. So what you want to do with this particular, with eggs over, let them cook, right? You just want to kind of keep them from getting stuck to the bottom of your pan. Keep them moving, right? See how they moving around there when I move the pan? So all you want to do is keep them moving. Keep them moving. Now at this point you can season if you want. I'll season here. A little bit, just a little something. Keep them moving. Don't let them get stuck. Let them get stuck. All right. And at this point, wherever your desired doneness is, that's where you want to flip them. Okay. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna let them cook because I don't want them to be too runny. The doc ain't gonna eat them. Doc like over hard eggs. I don't particularly care for over hard eggs. I'll make them though. All right. So here we go. We're gonna do the flip, right? Sometimes you might need a little bit more oil in there. Okay. And that's okay too, because you want them to be loose. You want to be able to move around. The only way you're gonna get the flip is if it's moving around in that pan. So you're gonna move around. You're gonna bring them to the end of that pan like this. Flip them. Your flip is done. All right. That's easy right there. So now we're gonna do this ham and cheese omelet. I always start with my ingredients in the pan first. So I'm doing a little ham. I'm doing a little ham and cheese omelet. And you're gonna let that ham cook, right? Let the ham get to how you want it to be. With these eggs over, depending on what desired doneness you want them to be, you can cut your fire off. Cut them completely off and let them finish. Because this little chunk right there is gonna hold some heat. So they're gonna continue to cook the whole time they're in this pan, whether the fire's on them or not. Until you pull them off, they're gonna cook. So we're gonna let them keep on cooking, just like this. Now, back over to our omelet, right? We got you want to give it a couple of flips if you want to, if you're comfortable with the flip. Turn over your ingredients, okay? All right. You want to get your omelet ready. I like to use little pans because I like my omelets to come out kind of plate size, right? Sometimes I do them huge. I've done some huge omelets over the years. Sometimes I do. So this is gonna be strictly a ham and cheese omelet. Now, if you add green peppers and onions to that, that becomes a Denver omelet.
But right now, we're doing the ham and cheese omelet. So what I do is I put my egg mixture in the middle of the ingredients and work my way out. I start in the middle, work my way out, okay? Work my way out. All right, so we got all our egg ingredients in there. And what we want to do is as it starts to cook, you'll see it'll start to cook. You want to keep pushing it in, pushing it inward so that the liquid goes to the outside. Push the done part in and push the liquid to the outside, right? You don't have to cook these fast unless you're working at a restaurant and you behind in the weeds, whatever the case may be. All right, you can take your time with these, right? So you want to push the liquid in or drain it is what I call sometimes. You drain the liquid from the solid part so that it can continue to cook, right? You drain the liquid, it'll cook. Drain the liquid is what I mean right there. Drain the liquid, all right? And then you just push it back in and it'll start to solidify, right? It'll solidify around your ingredients. It'll solidify around each other. So that way it builds a patty, so to speak, in the pan. So we're going to go and move them off the heat because we don't want them to cook anymore. But you want to keep this loose as well, see? Keep that loose as well. So what we also want to do is, as we let that cook, we're going to go ahead and add our cheese to it. Now, what cheese we using, Chef Jeff? Some shredded cheddar, I think. Yep, sharp cheddar. Doc loves cheddar cheese, so we got that on deck for sure. So at this point, you can add your cheese in there. All right, you can add it now or you can add it later. I like to add it now at this point because we're gonna flip it and then we're gonna be done. And then we put some more in the middle. We get a little cheesy action going on. So boom, see that? We ready to flip. Did we season? Yes, we already seasoned. So we're gonna bring it to the edge of the pan like this. And there we go, we flipped. Successful flip right there. So we're gonna pat it down. All right, so that bottom part gets to cooking. The part that we flipped is gonna cook, right? The best way to tell if your omelet is fully cooked is if you press it down and no egg mixture comes to the top, right? You want to check in the different areas, press it down, see if any fluid comes out. That's how you know that it's done or not, right? If you push it down and you got some egg juice come up, it ain't done. And you let it cook a little more, right? Also, another part of the omelet, now you can flip it again or you can serve it. It totally depends on you and what you want to see on your plate. Now, in restaurant business, we're going to flip it again. Why? Because we're gonna put some cheese in it and all that kind of stuff. And we want it to look like an egg, right? So we want the egg side to show, which is the egg side. The other side is the ingredient side, right? So you want to make sure this is loose. We're going to flip it again. So you see all of that? We're going to cover all that up. How, Chef Jeff? I'm going to show you. So with this, see them little white parts? That's why you mix it up. I don't like that. If it was my omelet, I'd throw it away. But anyway, neither here nor there. So we got a little bit of ham and cheese in there, right? So we're going to put a little more cheese. Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put the cheese on one side. Cheese on one side, guys. Real quick right here. Cheese on one side. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to plate it. Just that quick. Because it's easy. Easy. It ain't take us no time. We cooked some eggs over and then we made an omelet in less than about 10 minutes. So you see how fast you put some breakfast together real quick. If I had to have some bacon going, we'd been ready to go right up in here. So you want to cut your fire after that as well. So you don't want to continue cooking if you're done. If you're done cooking, right? So what we're finna do is plate him up. So here's how I plate my omelets. You see that cheese in there? I'm gonna pull that side down. See it right there? Boom. And then flip it. And there we go. Omelet is ready for service. Omelet is ready for service. Eggology, this dope cooking show. You saw it. I was with you. You was with me. We did some eggs real quick. We got a little breakfast ready to go right here. I'm not gonna eat this because I don't eat eggs. Never have, never will. I just don't do them. So what is gonna happen is Doc gonna come in on a lunch break and she gonna find herself with some brunch. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we do around here. So y'all, this dope cooker show. Y'all saw my trip. Y'all had some eggology. I'll catch y'all next week. So y'all was with me. I was with you. We did some eggology real quickly. Real quickly. Don't take long to make up some eggs. You know what I'm saying? That's why I hate that they went up so high. Because I mean, eggs are the foundation of every breakfast, just about. You know what I mean? Bacon and eggs and sausage, omelet. You know what I mean? Scrambled eggs, poached eggs, all of that. So, y'all, love y'all. I'll catch y'all next week. We're gonna do some more eating. I think I'm gonna do another hot pot chowder, cobbler or something. I don't know. But you know what? Oh, we gonna do a chicken sloppy joe. I know, it's crazy. I know, it's crazy. But we gonna do it. Next week, this Dope Cooking Show. Make sure you call your friends, tune in. We doing a chicken sloppy joe. I know, it's wild. You just already blew your mind, but that's what we doing. So I'll catch y'all next week. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.